Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live with another edition of Trooper Talk. We have Trooper Wellman and Christina from the Nevada Donor Network here again. People, I think, they think that the Metropolitan Police Department travels on the roadways and that they can pull you over on the roadways and that's what they can do. And I know that Nevada Highway Patrol partners with all the different agencies with the motorcycles, right? We've talked about that before. What I noticed yesterday, though, when I was driving home on the 215, was that there was a bunch of straight Metropolitan Police officer motorcycles that were pulling people over on the highway.
So yesterday what you observed is called Joining Forces, and what that is it's a grant funded by the Office of Traffic Safety, and it joins forces with all our surrounding agencies throughout the entire state, and they focus on a specific initiative of traffic safety for that day or for that week, and they go out there in numbers to educate the motoring public on traffic safety. And so yesterday what you saw was there's multiple units from all different agencies that were working the 215, and yesterday's might have been distracted driving, but every like other week we have a new traffic safety that we do with Joining Forces. So you saw everybody from Clark County School Police on the freeway to Las Vegas Metropolitan to North Las Vegas. Yes, we were out there in numbers.
And so the interesting thing, and we've talked about it before, if you're an officer, right, you can pull somebody over anywhere.
Correct.
And so I don't think people see that because they always see the metro on the freeway and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to blow past them because they're not pulling me over.
Yes, the other agencies have jurisdiction to go ahead and initiate a traffic stop and stop a danger if they see it. But any calls for service, that would be our jurisdiction. So calls for service we handle, but doesn't mean that they can't go out on it and call for us and vice versa. So, and again, with us, ours is state of Nevada, so I can patrol all the way from Las Vegas all the way up to Carson City if I really wanted to. But the other surrounding agencies do have to stay within a certain miles of the city that they're designated to. So the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department wouldn't necessarily go up to Carson City, but here in the valley, they can go on the highways, surface streets, yes.
Yeah, and so if you see them, don't mess around. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, an officer is an officer.
An officer's an officer, right?
Yes.
Nevada Donor Network, right? We're a
Yes.
big fan, right, Trooper Wellman?
Yep.
You know what I mean? We think fantastic, right? We had a tremendous response the last time you were on, and at the IPUF Car Show, we have so many things to go over. Tell us what the Nevada Donor Network is, and if we have any questions, what should we do?
Absolutely. So Nevada Donor Network is the federally designated OPO, or Organ Procurement Organization, for a majority of the state of Nevada. We are federally designated, meaning that we are here to do a job on behalf of our government, and that's to save and heal lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation. So we're honored to serve Nevadans, especially here in our valley, and to give them that gift and that hope that they can have after their loved one has unfortunately passed away, but has made that ultimate decision to be a hero and give that ultimate gift.
And we talked about it last time, but let's bring it up again. You know, the fact that, the doctor is not making somebody live longer so that they can call you on the slide, or, there's none of this funny business going on, right? Talk to us a little bit about that.
The number one myth and misconception we hear is that if doctors know that I'm a registered organ, eye, and tissue donor, they won't work as hard to save my life. And as I'm here sitting next to a first responder, she can speak from her own experiences and the oaths that they take to protect and serve our community. The many medical oaths our doctors, nurses, our EMTs, all of them take to service. Their primary goal is to save your life. That's the first thing they want to do. They don't want to lose a patient. They don't want someone to pass away. And to have that happen, it can also be the worst day of their lives as well, because they've worked so hard and this is what they want to do. This is their passion. This is what they love showing up every single day to do. So if that unfortunate circumstance has happened and then the time has come that all life saving measures have been exhausted, then donation becomes a conversation. And how I like to view it is that it's that hope or that light at an end of a very dark tunnel. There's nothing else that can happen, but through this ultimate gift, they can leave behind a legacy and give that gift of life.
Trooper Fontaine, love Trooper Fontaine, fantastic words, all that, you know what I mean, that we've talked many times. You know, he was with Medic West, right?
Yep.
And so he was not in the organ donating, but he was always trying to help procure life and to do everything he could, right?
Absolutely.
And then, unfortunately, you know, we lost Trooper Micah May, and, you know, he was able to use some of his organs. And
Yeah, Trooper Fontaine unfortunately had COVID complications, and due to that, was not able to be an organ donor. Trooper May, he, given his situation, you know, he was on life support, and so his family had time to make that decision. Gave us all the opportunity to say goodbye. Gave his family the opportunity to say goodbye before that decision was made. And through his donation, he was able to donate 4 of his organs to save 3 recipients. And so he was a hero in life and after. And we always want to honor that and keep that memory alive because it was super powerful. And then with Sergeant Jenkins, unfortunately, with his passing, it was just, he was not qualified to be an organ donor as well.
we when it comes to Sergeant Jenkins, you know, we talked about the last time because you were with his family, and you know we had all those pictures and things like that at the memorial and things like that, and so we always want to honor all of our officers, and so even if they're not able to do the organ donations, you know, everybody wants to in their own heart, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so we appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And so this month, right? So tell us about, you have some things that are happening this month and stuff like that.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on.
So I have to say this is my favorite month of the year. It's April, which is also known as National Donate Life Month. So this month is all about bringing awareness to organ, eye, and tissue donation, but the power in registration. Because when one person says yes to being a heroic organ, eye, and tissue donor, they have the opportunity to save 8 lives through organ donation and heal and enhance the lives of 75 or more through tissue donation. So everything from, and I'll let Trooper Wellman talk about the press conference that we held to kick off the month to just bring awareness to the partnerships we have across our state with our law enforcement heroes. But even now, moving forward, National Blue and Green Day is coming up on Friday, April 22nd. And it's just as simple as wearing blue and green Friday and then telling someone, I'm wearing blue and green because I support organ, eye, and tissue donation. I'm a registered hero. Are you? That's another way, of course, you can support. But then also at the end of this month, we culminate all of our mini opportunities for celebrating with our different community partners at Hope Glows, which is our annual Glow walk and run. Of course, you don't have to be a runner. You can also be a walker. Just come out and enjoy. It's a family-friendly event. It's at Mountains Edge Exploration Peak Park. And you can learn more at nvdonor.org/hopeglows, how to get registered, you know, what all the details are about the event. But it's probably one of my favorite things we do all year round because we get to be surrounded by not only the people that we serve, the heroic donor families, but also just a community full of people who do believe in our mission and want to support that awareness as well.
Yeah, and we have the flyer.
Yes.
It's going to be coming up, and we're going to be talking about that.
Great.
Tremendous to do business with, right? And friends.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Lifelong friends. You know what I'm
Lifelong.
saying? and so that's also the very funny part we learned the last time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, there's the bond and there's the friendship and there's all these things. And so, you know, when we want to make that choice, you know, maybe it's not you that we talk to. Maybe it's a trooper. Maybe it's Trooper Wellman because we had a conversation. And so
The Nevada State Police has had a partnership with the Nevada Donor Network for approximately 7 years now. And this year, we really jumped in full force and wanted it to be a huge community effort to come together of unity because we wanted to honor Micah May as well as all the other people that have donated throughout the years. But one of the ways that we also bring educating our community on becoming registered donors is we, throughout the whole month of April, we wear these pins on our uniforms that say Donate Life. And the reason we wear them is to show support, but also if we're dealing with the public on a crash or maybe just, a motor assist or something, it sparks conversation. And not only does that build rapport with our community members, but as well as we educate them on why we're wearing this and the mission and the vision behind it. And then as well as we also have decals that we put on our patrol vehicles that also say Donate Life. And it's just to show our support. And a lot of our first responder community partners are also doing it this year and partaking, wearing the pins and putting the decals on their fire trucks, police cars, ambulances, you name it.
And so, again, it's just about starting the conversation.
Yeah.
Are you interested in having the conversation? I might have some other information for you, and I think it's great. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is. And I just would love to give a special shout out to Trooper Wellman because she has really been going all out. She has been.
We
She's
embarrass
being
her all the
shy.
time.
I
It's
know.
okay.
Let's
You know what I'm
embarrass her.
saying?
Her face
Sometimes
is
we
getting
make her
red.
cry. Don't worry.
But she has been doing an incredible job
Yes.
this month. I mean, we've had such an incredible show out. She didn't even speak to the press conference when really she did so much to get our governor, Sisolak, there.
Yes.
Many supporters and leaders throughout our community to just simply say, we believe in this. Organ, eye, and tissue donation is the ultimate gift, and today is the day that we want to all come together and show our support, and especially the support of joint law enforcement agencies as well, which I think, again, is a great way to touch our community in a very unique way that we haven't been able to in the past. So I'm very proud of all the efforts that really she's been spearheading. It's been great.
She doesn't do enough.
It's,
You know what I'm saying?
it's been a team effort. Let's just make that clear. Everybody came together.
She's the leader of the team, but let me tell you, she doesn't do enough. You know what I mean? She's the only PIO. She's driving around. She's dealing with all these things. You know what I'm saying? And when we had Lieutenant White on here last week, he was a big fan of the Nevada Donor Network.
Yeah,
you know what I
Lieutenant-
mean? Go.
Yeah, Lieutenant White, prior to me, he was a huge partner with the Nevada Donor Network, and he actually was in charge of our academy, and they did an event at, I think it was a UNLV-UNR basketball game, and they still hold the record for getting over 800 people to register in one event. He holds the record.
They're in their uniforms, dressed up, approaching all these different fans and also college students, and they were had sent all, the younger members of the academy, and they were a hit at the game.
I don't know
mean,
how
they
they
were
did it.
just nonstop. They'd get one, they'd come right back, pass it off, Brad, go right back out there. They were so passionate about it, and they came up with that idea themselves as well, because I also have been a part of the partnership that we've had with the academies, and they brainstorm the idea, they think of the logistics. We're there, of course, to support them along the way, to kind of give them that structure, since we do so many of these events. But I mean, over the years, it's been great. One year we had setups at our Nevada DMV offices, tablings, then we also did a dunk tank at the Bass Pro Shops. I mean, really, they've come up with all these ideas, and it's been really unique every year to see what they've done.
And if a business is interested, what would they do? Would they contact you?
Yes.
Talk to us about, if you're a business and you have an idea of brainstorming and you'd like to do something, what would they do?
We would love any of our local businesses or any business leaders in our community to absolutely partner with us. They can reach us at info@nvdonor.org. I personally actually manage that email address, and I'll definitely make sure to connect you with the right person. If you are interested in corporate giving as well, Nevada Donor Network's foundation was incepted within the last few years, and what we're trying to do is a campaign to end the wait and provide more transplantation services for Nevadans, so they don't have to leave the state for other things besides kidney transplants. That's currently only the only organ that we're transplanting here in the state of Nevada, and so we want to change that. We believe in that mission on both sides, right? Is being able to help people receive that gift as well. And so if they want to learn more about that, nvdonor.org/foundation, they can learn more about our signature events that we hold throughout the year that they can attend, or different ways that they can give back through giving and corporate giving.
Okay, because when we air this, a lot of people have the businesses, and so one of the things that we're always a big proponent of is the fact that if you have a business and you want to do something, or you want to have a little fundraiser, or you want to do something, you know what I mean. A lot of people, they don't know how to reach out. Not that they can't make a phone call, but they don't know who to call or what to do. And so one of the things that we provide here is the fact that Trooper Wellman brings on trusted partners so that people can feel, oh, okay, I saw them on the Trooper Talk, and so this must be a trusted partner that I can call.
Yeah, and we love that. And the support of you as well, Neil, and also Trooper Wellman to just have us here. And there's so much hope. And listen, I'm the first person to say speaking about death is never something that's easy on a daily basis. Both Trooper Wellman and my team, we have to deal with death. But knowing that there is this sort of silver lining that can be had through organ, eye, and tissue donation, there is a special meeting between what the two of us do. And I think that together, the three of us can really inspire our community to continue saying yes. And what I'm very proud of, I like to brag about some statistics for a second, is that the state of Nevada, 62% of our state is registered to be organ, eye, and tissue donors. Over 99% of those registrations are coming from our Nevada DMV offices. The national average state by state is only 54%. So of course we would love to see it be 100%, but we're doing incredible. Nevadans have that heart. They're getting that heart on their license. And so I'm very proud to share that message. And me, myself, being a native Las Vegas person that's been here for a very long time.
Right.
I went to school up in Reno, so like I love our state and I love sharing just how big of hearts Nevadans have to be able to give that gift to someone else.
Yeah, no, I think it's absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that we always talk about on Trooper Talk is how do we save one life?
Yeah.
And so, if we save one life that way, you know what I'm saying? By somebody, by opening up that conversation, then that's fantastic.
It's true,
you
and
know what I
that's,
mean?
I think that's the very simple thing that I always love to say when I talk to people about it is the gift is saying yes. Right? That's where it starts. I can have a conversation with someone today, or they can view our conversation together, and the next day they become registered, because you can also get registered at nvdonor.org as well online if you aren't planning to go to the DMV anytime soon. You get registered, and we don't know. Death isn't an if situation, it's a when. And, someone could pass away a few months later, and they have made that decision and have said yes, and now they're able to leave that legacy and bring that hope to 8 others, potentially through organ donation, and 75 or more through tissue donations.
There she is. She was recognized.
So is
Look at the
our major
star.
as well.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here, Trooper Wellman?
So one of Christina's counterparts is her name is Jenna, and she's one of the managers at, or what is Jenna?
Yeah, she's a manager.
A manager at Nevada Donor Network, and she nominated me to be the honoree at the Silver Knights game one night for Heroes of the Game, just based on our partnership with Donor Network. So it was a super humbling and awesome experience I got to share with not only them, but my coworkers as well as my family. So it was a big honor. It was really cool.
Yeah, so whenever we can, we
Right.
try when she lets us.
I agree. So do you get really choked up?
You know what? I was actually very nervous to go up there just because I felt very vulnerable, because I had to submit some photos of my family and stuff on there, and it's all about humanizing the badge. But to be in an arena with all these strangers that you don't know, and stranger not as a bad thing, just people I don't know, and to be vulnerable like that, and then to announce what I do for a living, I was a little nervous. And then they said Micah May's name and talked about my relationship with the Donor Network, and I felt myself getting choked up, and I was like, get it together. Because I was like, why am I getting teary-eyed? And so I just had to get it together for a second. But it was such an honor. It was really, really cool experience that I may never ever get to do that again in my life, and to say I did is just awesome.
And what she wrote, because of course I'm the content queen, so
Oh,
a part of
great.
what I do as well is write. And she
didn't
wrote
know
this
that.
beautiful write-up. I mean,
Oh,
I wish
she
I
didn't send
could
me
read
that,
it.
you know what I'm saying?
I wish I could. Well, what I'm planning to do,
right,
as
make a
long
little
as she
video.
allows me, is to repurpose it into a blog, because it really was very beautiful what she wrote out of her own words. I finesse it, to make it short and sweet for an event like this. But I mean, it just shows that her passion is glowing, and we're lucky for supporters like her. As well as our major as well, who's been along for the ride for a very long time, and just the various leaders that have continued to say, you know what, yes, Trooper Wellman, let's push up this message, let's believe in this, let's connect with our community, because again, like, the reminder that I want to give everyone watching is that this is not the norm nationally for law enforcement agencies to partner with OPOs, or organ procurement organizations, like Nevada Donor Network. This is because they have the desire and they want to, with the little time that they do have, and they're giving of that time to be able to potentially save and heal, you know, numerous amounts of lives just because of this partnership. So I always really love to just share that shout out and to say, because of Nevada State Police Highway Patrol, we were literally the first in the nation to have this partnership.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how big it was for us, and that's why we always want to continue to drive home, you know, the message that, you know, there are our heroes who serve our community, and they believe in saying, well, everyone can be a hero.
Yeah.
And I really think that beautiful message just continues to just come together so nicely. So,
You know, and something as simple as this has just really helped our communication together. So when we deal with these major incidents, like, the quicker we contact them, the quicker we possibly can save a life. And that's why our partnership is so important, and our communication is so important, that we, you know, are successful with, you know, in these tragedies. Like she said, we find the silver lining. For us, we have to experience these tragedies, but then at some point it's kind of a silver lining for us to see that, hey, you know, they maybe were able, because of our actions or our quick phone calls, to they were, and that includes all the first responders, everybody that, you know, is part of the whole scene. Because of those actions, you know, we're possibly able to save, you know, like, for example, Trooper May, he saved 3 people just from, you know, just from him. And so, and for those who think that, because these are strangers, that's why we're so quick to do this, like, we lost our own, you know, our own was a donor, and we are proud of him for being a donor. We're not, you know, we're devastated that he passed, but we're so proud of him for being an organ donor, because he saved 3 people after life. And that's why we really believe in the mission, because not only do we believe in it, but it affected us personally, and we've seen it full circle.
well,
so.
and this personal effect too is really what kicked off this partnership, because where it started was a heroic donor mom lost her son at the scene of a car accident, and because of this timing that Trooper Wellman was speaking to, he was a donor in spirit, meaning that he wasn't able to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor just because of that gap in communication that we didn't have. So something as simple as opening up those lines of communication, having that training, not only from, you know, the officers who are at the scene of the fatality, but also dispatch as well, and having that thorough just understanding of how a simple action of picking up the phone can make the difference. It inspired the team at Nevada State Police to say, well, why aren't we doing this? Why don't we have a partnership? Like, let's honor more mothers, like this one that called and said, well, why couldn't he be? You know, simply because of where he passed away. And so it's just, it really has created this beautiful partnership that I will continue to shout from the rooftops, and the synergy that we have is just so unique and unlike anything else. So I'm very, very proud of it.
Same.
And you know, you're the public information officer, right? So you could just be a trooper and just drive the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you choose to put yourself out there to do these things more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So and so it does show not only what type of a woman you are, but like that, you know, you're trying to do these things, and by, you know, being recognized is a fantastic thing. And so
Yeah,
You deserve
congratulations.
Thank you. It was definitely an honor. Thank you.
The Hope Glows.
So just as a reminder, every April is National Donate Life Month. So our big signature event that we have for the month is Hope Glows. We always host the in-person event here in Southern Nevada. So this year's event will be on April 30th, and it will be at Exploration Peak Park at 6 p.m. And if you want to join and attend, it truly is a family-friendly event. We'll have a DJ, food trucks, you know, all different things for everyone to show up. You know, the entrance fee goes back and does benefit our foundation and that mission to end the wait for Nevadans who need that gift of life through organ donation. So I highly encourage you all to kind of end Donate Life Month and celebrate with us at Hope Glows, nvdonor.org/. facebook.com/hopeglows. One thing I didn't get to speak about that I'm incredibly proud about is we kicked off National Donate Life Month this year for the first time ever, having the most amount of our casino and downtown partners promoting our cause by either lighting up blue and green or, you know, sharing our message on, for example, Resorts World used their massive screen and put, you know, it's National Donate Life Month on it. Downtown at the Fremont Street Experience, they had this same sort of custom image that would play every 30 minutes. And that was like so incredible to see it. I mean, being again a native, I was like, wow, like it's just was such a powerful way to just show that our entire city supports our mission and how we want to save and heal as many lives as possible through organ, eye, and tissue donation. So I'm very, very proud of it. If you aren't comfortable yet getting out to these in-person events, which I understand everyone has kind of different things that they would like to do, you can support us online as well. If you go to nvdonor.org/donate DLM, which is Donate Life Month, or no, actually, let me mess. That's your guys' registration link.
So you
cut
use
that
our
part
link.
out.
I
Yeah.
say use our link
Okay,
right there.
Wait. Okay, cut that part out. I was thinking that was the link, but it messed me up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that is the link. Use
But
it.
it is the link. We'll talk
That is
about
the
that.
link. Yeah, that's very
Okay.
funny. See,
So,
that's very funny.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to get serious again now because
Okay.
I'm sweating because I messed that one up.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you would like to support online and you'd like to kind of share with your social media communities or any sort of communities you host online, if you go to nvdonor.org/April, we actually have a huge amount of resources that you can personally share as well as ideas to potentially inspire other people that are sort of a part of your network online that you want to bring into the cause. So that's just another way. I will let Trooper Wellman share more about our press conference that kicked off the month as well.
Right.
Going back to how he said that we wanted this year to be the biggest and the best, we decided instead of doing a typical battle of the badges and, you know, competing against our other first responder agencies throughout the state, to try to get who can raise the most awareness and get the most people to register to be, you know, organ, eye, or tissue donors. So we decided to do a unity tour basically and bring everyone together. And that's where I pretty much reached out to everyone in the entire state. And it's been very grateful, or I've been very grateful to have that opportunity though, because it's built these relationships not only for the donor network, but us as well. I mean, we all work side by side on calls and throughout the, you know, our entire state. And so it's nice to be able to put a voice or a face to the name and it's not just an email. And so reaching out to all of these agencies, everybody was on board and everyone's pretty much same reaction was, how can we help? What do you need from us? And so that was really exciting to start off with. And then we came up with the slogan, you don't have to wear a badge to be a hero. And that's been our motto this entire month for all of us first responders, is you don't have to wear a badge to be a hero. We all wear badges, but, you know, by registering to be an eye, organ, or tissue donor, now you're a hero as well. And so that's what we're going with. And if anybody wants to register to be an eye, organ, or a tissue donor on the national registry, not just, if you're only registered through the DMV with the little heart on your license, that's only for Nevada. So if you want to be a donor throughout the entire United States, or the national one, you can go on nvdonor.org/DLM, which means Donate Life Month. And that right there shows through our efforts as a first responder community or entire state, we brought awareness to our communities by getting people to register to be heroes. And so that's what that is right there. And I had a banner made that's in the background of our press conference. And this press conference ended up going statewide, so we held one up in Reno, Nevada, as well as in Las Vegas, Nevada. And our press conference in the South was so successful, and we had over 16 first responder agencies show up just to be there alone.
Yeah.
We had every media outlet showed up just to show their support as well as cover the story. We also had Commissioner Naff that showed up, and he did the proclamation on behalf of Clark County for April 1st is National Donate Life Day, the kickoff for the month. And then we even had Governor Sisolak show up to make a proclamation for the entire state as April 1st is National Donate Life Day for the unity of the first responders. So huge success. It was so powerful and so amazing to be a part of and kind of create history in a way because we have never done that before. We've never done it that big before. So it was really, really special. What you see these two photos here is I'm constantly going to let you know that not only are we passionate about the mission and we see the vision with Nevada Donor Network, but I always like to go back to recognize the heroes in the that have already donated, but as well as the ones that affect us personally. So right here you see beautiful Coral Otero, and she was actually the wife of one of our troopers that was killed tragically in a car accident about a year ago. And through her donation, she gave the gift of sight and I believe tissue to a couple individuals here or throughout the United States. And so she's a hero, and we always want to honor her and her memory. And just because she didn't wear a badge doesn't mean she's not a part of our Blue family, as well as, again, you don't have to wear a badge to be a hero, and that's why we always want to highlight Coral and her giving her ultimate gift. And then behind her you'll see Trooper Micah May, which we've talked about, and through his donation of 4 organs, he saved the lives of 3. And so those were our 2 people that we wanted to highlight this press conference, but the list goes on. And kind of touching on something that Christina had mentioned was, any organizations that want to donate to Nevada Donor Network, their goal is to bring create a transplant center here. So one of our sergeants from Capitol Police, his wife is a recipient of an organ donation, and which they are beyond grateful. She has this second chance at life, but talking to them in depth for her process, just out of pure curiosity myself, I found out that they actually had to drive all the way to California, and time is of the essence, and she's deathly sick, and he had to drive all the way to California before she could even receive this transplant because they couldn't do it here in town. And that's just one of the many obstacles that they face, and there's many families out there that also have to face that. And to think some people aren't able to just pick up their family and move to, is it Utah and California?
Utah, California, Arizona. I mean, some people even go as far as Washington. I mean, they're just so desperate to receive that gift that, they're going to try to make it work. But, we have a family, their daughter actually shares her story quite a bit with us. Her name is Brianna Love. And I mean, they had never even known anyone that's received an organ transplant, let alone knew anything about sort of this world and what it meant to be a recipient. And they went on a family vacation. She came back with started feeling a little sick. Her mom just knew, mother's intuition, that something was off, and they took her to the hospital, and a virus, she had contracted one when they were traveling, and what you think would be a traditional viral infection, and it ended up attacking her heart, and it just damaged it so severely that it wasn't functioning the way that it should anymore, and there was no surgery or procedure they could do here locally that could help her, and transplant was her only potential way to survive. And so they had to relocate their entire family. They have a son as well, and move to Utah and go through the pediatric transplant process. And she's here today because another young man actually in Idaho had passed away in a car accident, and he had just received his license and had said yes with his parents, and he was able to give her that ultimate gift. But they had to live in the Ronald McDonald House while they were there, and they're such stewards and supporters of the cause now and what it meant, but imagine in that moment and how overwhelming to have to just relocate your whole family, your income, trying to figure out, because dad is a business owner, how he can still keep things moving while also being able to support his daughter and his family through the process. And she ended up receiving the gift on her little brother's birthday, which I think is like a really sweet part of the story. But she just received her license. She's now 16 years old. She's on her high school dance team. Like, she's doing everything normally, except she has a scar on her chest, and she takes medication twice a day, her anti-rejection medication, and has more doctor's appointments than most of us. But she's just like your average teenage girl who has her first little crush and boyfriend and all of those fun things that wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for her donor.
And she wouldn't have been here.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and so that's what we have to just keep. It's not for everybody,
Right.
but for the ones that are interested, you're there. For somebody who wants to open up a conversation, you're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why registering on the national one, that was news to me when I started this whole process with them, because I thought, I have the heart on my license, I'm good to go, right? Like, I'm a donor. But then I was educated that actually that just means, God forbid, something happens to me in another state. Well, now I'm not eligible to be a donor because I'm not nationally registered.
Yeah.
And so when people register to be national, then you can donate in any state.
Yeah, and it just really helps, like, when we talk about the logistics of the process, like, the shorter the amount of time that it takes to confirm that registration and, you know, do all those different things. Once you're on the National Registry, it just travels with you everywhere that you go. And so, you know, and it doesn't hurt if you believe in it to be registered in all the different places. I'm registered online on my iPhone in the health app, as well as at the DMV, because I think having the heart on your license is very symbolic. But, you know, to your point about it's not for everyone, and I completely understand this is a very personal and individual choice. And one thing that I like to just share, to me, is very black and white. When I'm gone, I'm not going to need my organs. I'm not going to need my tissue. And if I can give someone that extra amount of time with their loved ones, you know, as a parent, as a sibling, as, you know, a husband or wife or a spouse, you know, as a friend even, I would love to be able to give them that gift. So I really, you know, like to push that point home. But then also, if you were in need of an organ or tissue transplant, would you receive that? You know?
No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the flip side of both things. You know what I mean? That someone may say, I don't want it, and you know what I mean. I just want to be done.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's why I think it's very important that you are able to open up a conversation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And even if you just, you know, listen or you just talk or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I think is very important with you being at all these different events.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Look, you can't make it here, fine. Maybe you can make it to the next one. You know, you can't make it there, you know, you can, you know, figure it out. And so
Yeah.
I think making yourself accessible
Is a huge part of it.
is really wonderful.
It is.
And so, and then being able to see anybody for, you know, like Trooper Wellman or the Nevada State Police, that they would have a question. At least, you know, somebody can answer a question. Maybe they don't know all the answers and they can't get into all the specifics, but at least that they could say, yes, you know, listen, we do this, we partner with them. Oh, okay, you know, I saw that. I'd like to open up a conversation.
Yeah, and sometimes it honestly is, I would say majority of the time, more than the myths and misconceptions that we hear out there, is just that they've just never had a conversation about it. Because death is just not something that's easy to talk about, and any of those important decisions that would need to be had once I have passed away, they're not, you know, something that's easy to talk about now, but having those conversations while you can and are able to, I mean, there is something to be said about allowing, you know, if you have lost someone close to you and you know this feeling of like having to worry about everything now that the only thing that I want someone to worry about in that time is just the grief they have to move through when they've lost their loved one. I don't want them to have to worry about all these different decisions that they have to make. Knowing, you know, your choices when it comes to ventilation and being on a ventilator, knowing, you know, your burial choices, knowing your choice about organ, eye, and tissue donation, knowing your choice if you have a significant other, how would you feel about, you know, them moving on? All those different hard conversations are just, to me, so important to have. And, you know, getting married next year will be a part of my story, and we definitely are the two opposite ends of the spectrum. My family has always been forced to kind of talk about things because we've had loss early on, and donation is a part of my side of the family, whereas my fiance, his family is just like, no, we don't talk about it until we really have to. And I've seen the outcomes because we have lost his father and his brother in the last couple years, how that affects grieving and communication, and then the relationships of everyone else afterwards. So, you know, it's definitely important to have those conversations. But yeah, I mean, it really could just be, you know, running into someone at an event or watching this and then saying, you know what, tonight's the night where I'm going to talk to that person that I care about.
Yeah, and just like Trooper Woman said, you know, wearing the little pin right here.
Yep.
You
Simple
know
as
what I
that.
mean? Like, you know, you just, you know, oh, what is that pin? You know what I mean? Oh, well, let me explain what that pin is, and let me explain what it is that we can do.
Yes.
It's great. Christina, you know, thanks again. Tell everybody about the Nevada Donor Network. Tell us how to get a hold of you and all that type of stuff one more time.
Yes, so Nevada Donor Network thanks you once again, Neil, for allowing us to come on here and have an awesome Trooper Talk. But if you'd like to learn more about our cause and just continue to kind of dive deeper into your knowledge and understanding about organ, eye, and tissue donation, just head to nvdonor.org. You can see all of our resources, just more about some of those common myths and misconceptions, and just learn more, as well as get registered if you're ready to make that decision. If you're on social media, we're on Facebook at Nevada Donor Network and Instagram at NVDonor, and you can follow us for some very inspiring stories from locals and people who are just like you and I who have given this ultimate gift or have gone through and needed that ultimate gift. And then, of course, any other events and things like that that we have. So thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
We
great.
truly appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here. Trooper Wellman, the glow in the, what is it?
The Glow Run and Walk.
The glow
Yeah,
run and walk,
We'll,
tell
we'll
us.
be out there.
Ah.
Donor Network obviously is going to be out
Right.
there. They're hosting it.
Right.
Please feel free to come up to us. We'll have a booth. If you have any questions, just want to interact, we'll be out there. It's going to be a good time. It's open to the community. Please come. Yeah, I think it's just another example of our partnership and giving back to the community, and a great way to interact, especially getting back to normal after COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great way just to get out there and have some family time. So come on out.
And the last and final thing is that they can come out and talk to you about the DPS careers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That maybe somebody's interested. Maybe they're interested in making that a career and stuff like that too,
Absolutely.
right? All right, perfect. Christina, Trooper Wellman, thank you. We'll
Thank
wave at
you.
everybody, okay?
Thank
All right, see you later.
you.